Hello everyone. Today we'll have two poems with the same title, 少年行. I feel a bit sorry for all my viewers because my update rate is a bit slow for the past months because I have taken the Chinese teacher for foreigners exam by Hanban for the past months. I have passed the paper test, and yesterday I went to the face-to-face interview test. So I just wish I have a good luck to pass it and become a very qualified Chinese teacher for foreigners. And this video is part of my endeavor to make myself more qualified and at the same time introduce the best part of Chinese literature to foreigners who has the interest. Today's poem, 少年行, actually is starting from the Han dynasty as one of the preset poem pattern or song patterns by the musical department, 乐府, remember that? So it has the different songs, poems or lyrics with the same music, and also at the same time the content is limited to one of the type. 少年行 is all about the things of youth people, their dreams, their wishes, their behaviors, their anything about youth. So 少年行. So we also have sort of the 乐府 poems, like 塞上曲, 塞下曲, 出塞曲. But in the Tang dynasty, even with the same name and also with the writing of the same content as the topic defined, it doesn't have the music because all the music in the Han dynasty has been lost, and someone will remusic the poem written and make it like the poems and songs in the Han dynasty, but it's totally different things. The music is totally different, and the pattern, the writing patterns could be different. Anyhow, the Tang people like to do that, and they do a lot of the poems with the title from the Han dynasty, and the most likely the Tang people, they always compare them to be the Han dynasty, to compare their emperors to the emperors in the Han dynasty, and they think they are equal or maybe more superior than the Han dynasty. So this is the two most prosperous and most strong time in the Chinese history, the Han dynasty and the Tang dynasty. Okay, let's have the poem now. The first poem is by Wang. 少年行, Wang. 新丰美酒斗十千, 咸阳游侠多少年, 相逢意气为君饮, 系马高楼垂柳边. This poem is just like a sketch or just like snapshot. It depicts of the scenario of a time, a specific time. And it's a very simple poem. Anyhow, you need to know some of the specific words, and then you will know how the picture looks like. 少年行, the title is from the musical department, 乐府. 少年, the youth. In the Asian China, the boy elder than 16, and normally below 30 is considered as use. 行 is moving, the people moving or something's moving. So the title just like the use moving. It defines the content should be related with use. 新丰美酒斗十千. 新丰 is a name of a town east to Xi'an or Chang'an city. It's starting from the Han dynasty, and this town was built for the purpose to replicate the town in Anhui province today, where is the hometown of the first emperor of the Han dynasty, Liu Bang, because Liu Bang is a very good son to his father, and when he became the emperor in Chang'an city, he also want to let her father live with him. Let his father live with him, but his father refused. Said, look at me. I'm so old a man, and I don't want leave my neighborhood, the things I'm familiar with. No matter you are emperor or whatever, I won't leave. So Liu Bang rebuilt a new town, quite near to the Chang'an city, 100% according to his hometown, where his father lives for that time. And also he bring all the neighborhood with his father to the new town. So the new town's name is Xinfeng. You can I'm always passing that small towns when I taking the old green trains many years ago. But now with high-speed train, you will never hear that name. So that's the big difference. The modern time, the ancient time. In the ancient time, because you are on your feet or on the back of the horse, you always go through the ways your ancestors passed by, and you have the same lunch at the same time, and you have the dinner at the same time as your father, your grandfather, and your very ancient ancestors. But with the modern technology, the trains, high-speed trains, the planes, a lot of place, very famous place for the people for 1,000 years, know by them for thousands, and now nobody knows it, unless you are a local. I'm so happy I'm a local guy for both Xi'an city and Beijing city. So Xinfeng, that's it. So for the people of Xi'an, they know it very much. And have a guess, what's the name for Liu Bang's father or Liu Bang's hometown? What's the name for that? The new town is Xinfeng. And this place is very famous in the Tang dynasty for the wines, just like Mao Tai Jiu. If you have been to China and like to drink wines with Chinese, you will know Mao Tai. That's the most wanted wine for Chinese, most famous one as well. So Xinfeng, the wine in Xinfeng is the equivalent for nowadays of Mao Tai Jiu, the Mao Tai wine. So 斗十千, Dou is a vessel, and also it's a vessel for measurement. It's just like several liters. One Dou will have equivalent to several liters. So the dao here means you just take as a bottle of wine or some amount of wines. 十千, the price is 10,000. So here is a little weird thing I'm not quite sure, because in the Mandarin, the Chinese, we don't have sort of the 10K countings. It's 1,000, one. So the number is 1,000. So if you know a little bit about Chinese, you know what I'm talking. Not like the English 10K, that's the name. But in the Tang Dynasty, just like the English 10K, 十千, that's in the modern Mandarin is 1,000. So very, very expensive wines, very, very good wines. 游侠, 咸阳游侠多少年. Xianyang is the name for the capital of the Qin dynasty, the very beginning of the China, almost. And that's the name for the capital. And Chang'an city and Xianyang city is two cities, but that quite near 20 to 30 kilometers apart, and it's separated by the Wei River. So on the to the north is Xianyang, and to the south is Chang'an city. And from the Han Dynasty, even the capital was moved to the south of the Wei River. There's a bunch of the people living in the north bound of the Wei River, and the emperor, the Han emperor, he forced all the noble people and the wealthy people from all over the country to live in the area of the northbound of the river, and surrounded with 5 big tombs. The tombs for the emperor, we call it Ling. That's a specific term only for emperor. The tomb for emperor, Ling. And you will see a lot of other equivalent words, Wuling or Wulingyuan. It also refers to the same place. So it has normally it has two meanings. Wulingyuan, all the wealth people, the most rich people from all of the country was concentrated to that place. And of course, a lot of the noble people and royal relatives also live there. When you see the name Xianyang in the Tang poetry, or the Wuling or Wulingyuan, that only means two things: the richest, the nobles, not the most noble people. That's it. So Xianyang Youxia, Youxia refers to the Chinese type of hero, or the Chinese knight, Chinese cavalry. But there's a little difference. The Chinese hero normally is from the average people, not from the noble people. But here, the Youxia refers to the youth who has the dream to become a Chinese hero. And they are from the Xianyang, Wulingyuan, which means they are the youth from the richest families, from the most noble families of the whole country. And they have got enough of money, and the only thing they don't have is the fame or to become a hero. 相逢意气为君饮. So to be a hero, actually they have nothing to do to become a hero in their daily life. So the only thing they can follow the Chinese type of hero is the brotherhood and the masculine they can show each other. So normally that's the drinking together with the youth who has the same dream to become a Chinese hero. So here, 相逢意气为君饮, so they always drinking together with each other. 系马高楼垂柳边. So that's the details when they have the drinking event. They are on the high-rise buildings, the bars, and their quick horse is downstairs, roped to the willow trees. So the horse is a very, very important thing, and in this poem it actually has point out all the very fundamental and basic elements to distinguish these youths who want to be a Chinese hero and who is from the richest, the most noble families of the country. Okay, that's the picture Wang gave us. This poem is a very vivid picture of the most prosperous Tang dynasty, how the youth looks like, how they behave, and the most significant branding for these youths is the quick horse, like the Maserati, the Mercedes-Benz, and also the Maotai, the wines, the very expensive, the most wanted wines, 新丰美酒. And these two sentences still recited from time to time. 新丰美酒 and 咸阳游侠. And also Xianyang, I have explained a lot on Xianyang and Wuling Yuan. That's the symbolic things, or just like the branding today. When you see that, even today, you know what the writers is talking about. Okay, let's look at the second poems with the same title by Li Bai, another most greatest poet in Tang Dynasty. I will read this in the Xi'an dialect, 秦腔. 少年行力培，五陵年少金市东，银鞍白马度春风，落花踏尽游何处，笑入胡姬酒肆中. So this has a little difference from the poem by Wang. 五陵年少金市东, 五陵年少. So we have talked about Xianyang city, the capital of Qin dynasty, and also about Wuling. It refers to the same place, the richest, the most noble people. 年少, so the youth people from that richest and the most noble families. 金市东, 金市 is believed to be the west market. So there's two huge markets in the Chang'an city, 东市 and 西市. And normally the 西市 was so called the 金市, the golden market. And most merchants from the persons from the Central Asians will doing the business here. And in the East market, the majority merchant is from the East, basically the Chinese merchant. 银鞍白马度春风, 银鞍 the silver saddle, 白马 the white horse. Okay, this is a little similar to the Western culture. The white horse is the best horse. 度春风, 度 is passing through. 春风 is the breeze of the spring. So here 春风 is always refers to the springtime, the seasons. And 度春风 make it like action. All these richest, noblest youths, they are on the very beautiful, quick, expensive horse, and they are in action from here to there, from there to here, in the springtime. Spring is a startup time, and the youth is with the most energy among different age of people. So the people with most energy and in the best season, everything is start up booming, and that makes this scenario the most energy, with most energy and with most dynamic energy. 落花踏尽游何处? So in the last sentences, we feel the energy the youth got and the season gave to the people. And now let's see how they spoil their energy. They step on all the flowers. 落花踏尽, they step on all the flowers. Step on is not on their own feet. It's on the horseback. So the horse steps on all the flowers, which means they go to the countryside, they go to the suburb, all the place, the gardens around the city in the big metropolitan area of Chang'an City. That's a big place. And only the youth people can do that. And after that, there's no flowers to step on. So where can they go? 游何处 is a converse, the sequence converse, 何处游. So where can they go to and continue their touring and spoil their energy still left a lot? That's the youth people, so typical youth people. 笑入胡姬酒肆中. So here actually we is a callback to the first sentences. 五陵少年金市东. The sequences is the poet. The first sentence is describing the youth people is in the city beside the golden market on the east to that actually, and they are on their silver saddle, the white horse, and then the third sentence is actually describing something a little before, and the fourth sentence is telling you why they are at the east of the golden market. They are all smiling with smile. They get into the bar with a lot of the beautiful girls. 酒肆 is bar. That's the ancient name for the bar. The same, almost 99% equivalent to the Western bar. The only purpose is for the drink. The difference is in the Tang dynasty, there's always beautiful girls to sit aside of the guest. Huji is the beautiful girls, and this Huji is not Chinese. Hu means the girls from the west, which means the Central Asia, Iran, maybe far more east to Iran. So that's the people with big nose, with blue eyes, green eyes. They are not Chinese. This people is famous for they sit aside in the bar, and they have a terrific skill for dancing and singing and that's also part of the drinking event. So they watch the beautiful girls dancing, singing, and the singing is, in most cases, is singing the poems by the famous poet of Tang poet, and then they drink to each other, and what a good time, happy hours, the most happy hours of the Tang time always. So these two poems actually describe how the most prosperous, most richest time of the Tang dynasty, and it was reflected by the youth people, who is, of course, normally the people showing off around, and anyhow, even they are showing off, they will reflect the most characteristics of that time, and the most prosperous Tang dynasty. It just looks like that. The people is rich, they have a lot of leisure time, and they want to do something big. Actually, they don't have the chance, so he just drinking, go to the beautiful girls. That's the things. And the differences between Wang Wei and Li Bai, you can see it's quite obvious. In the poem of Wang Wei is a static picture, some snapshot. The poem by Li Bai is like a video. It's dynamic. A lot of the actions in that video. So this could be the reason of the different characteristic of the two person. Wang Wei believes in Buddhism, and he also practices Buddhism a lot. Li Bai believes in Taoism. He also practices a lot. And the Wang Wei is also quite famous for his skills on painting and music. He's a terrific composer as well. And Li Bai is, beside his poem, he's quite famous for fencing. And someone said Li Bai could be on the short list of most skillful fencing people in the Tang dynasty. So that's quite different. And after the youth time, Li Bai still sticked to his dreams to contribute to the country. I think one of the most important reason is he's so famous and he has so much skillful for the fencing. He wants to do something with his skill, fencing. And Wang Wei, all the skills Wang Wei got is literature, music, and painting. So that's a little far from the majorities. I mean the majorities of the intellectual people, because the most wanted for these people is the fame. They want to contribute to the country and get the fame. They want to do some great feat, and most likely very direct thinking. So by war, by conquering, is most possible way to get the fame, to have the feat. And Li Bai keep his wishes all the time, even almost before his death. But Wang Wei very quickly gave up all his careers. he just quit. So this is quite different for these two people. And also it's a big paradox. These two poems depicts a snapshot, a short video of the most prosperous time of Tang Dynasty, and very quickly the huge empire collapsed. Even with all such a strong and rich country, and with all so many capable people who also want to do something, contribute to the country, it doesn't help on that too much for the empire. It collapsed. Okay, that's for today. And one more thing. In the history books or anything written, there's no evidence Wang Wei and Li Bai encountered or meet each other. The two was born in the same year, and they spent so many years in the same city, in the same place. And they are both in the core of the intellectuals in the capital, in the circle, and they both serve for the central government, and they never meet. I don't believe that, but definitely they are not in the same circle, and they don't like each other. That's weird as well. Okay, that's for today. I wish you all like it, and any comments on my video are warmly welcome. Thank you.